For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Soaring to tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Dead men tell no tale.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you. But may I just say,
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Scott Atwood.
And I'm Michele Atwood, and we are the owners of the Main Street Mouse.
And this is the Main Street Mouse Weekly Podcast, show number 147 for June 3rd, 2024.
What number was that?
147.
Wow. Okay.
Well, it counts all the TMSM Weekly Lives we used to do.
Hey, that's a lot of work.
But we did that for like 6 years, and we're only at 147.
Well, we took some time off.
We took a lot of time off. There's 52 in a year, so we should be at like 300 and something.
Okay, well.
We're not even halfway there.
Because we took a lot of time
Took
off.
a lot of time off.
Okay, but now we're here, so that's what's important, right?
Guess who's back?
Well.
And he's got a new hit this week.
And it's so good. All right, so hi, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, so let's get right to it.
Right, get
What do you
right
got,
to
Atwood?
it. So we'll start this week off with Adventures in Florida Living.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent the weekend away.
Well, kind of away, like 15 minutes away.
17 of traffic. We hit that one light we're looking at almost.
Okay,
20.
yeah.
Would you like to tell them where we stayed?
Okay, so we were actually invited to check out the Caribe Royale, which is a very large resort right off of World Drive. About 5 minute drive to Disney property.
Yeah, it was really close.
It's closer to the spring side.
Mm-hmm.
And we had driven by that hotel so many times, and
we actually worked a convention there one time.
Yes, what I was just gonna say. We worked a convention there in 2018. But when we worked the convention, we stayed in that area. We didn't actually go and do the resort.
No.
So that was kind of cool for us because it was something brand new that we hadn't done. And I didn't know. So I don't like to spoil anything. So whenever we're going to go someplace or do something that I haven't done before, I like to walk in surprised.
Yeah.
And when we walked in that big lobby, I was surprised.
Yeah.
And you could see the fountain, all the way on the other side. You could see the fountains for the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, this place. She's the one of the people that we met there, the social media person or the sales manager for the resort. Said that they had an extremely expensive overhaul over the past few years.
Yeah, I want to say it was 170 million or 160 million.
It was a lot of money.
It was during COVID they actually did it. So while everything else was down, their investors came together and said, okay, if we're going to overhaul the hotel, now's the time to do it.
And I guess it's only been about 2 years since it's been completed.
Yeah.
And they redid everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some really great restaurants on the property too. So let's start over again. I don't want to jump right to food.
Where do you want to start? So you start with the lobby. We got in the lobby. So the presentation of the hotel is very nice. It kind of sits up a little bit off the street. It's not right up on the street. It's I don't know. It's almost like a second level to get up.
Kinda, yeah. It's not like right level with the road. And then when you walk in, the lobby is really big, and then there's like stairs to go down, and there's even more, and then a restaurant, and wasn't the sports bar down there too?
Yeah, the sports bar, the Chop House was down there, as well as the Tropical, which is their breakfast buffet type thing. I think they had afternoon, or maybe they might not be open after lunchtime, and then the
And that's the same floor that walks out to the pool.
Correct. Yeah. So those three are on the same floor, right to the pool, and the marketplace they have down there, their little store.
Right. And then and then when you go outside around the pool, there's a restaurant out there with a full bar.
Yes. Calypso.
You can have specialty drinks, which of course I took advantage of.
Yes.
And then they'll deliver like poolside.
Right.
But when we got there, we were in Tower 2 on the 9th floor, and we headed right up to check out the room because I always like to videotape rooms when we get someplace new.
Right.
And the room was very spacious and very nice.
It was very nice, actually. I don't know what, I think it was considered a king suite, but all the rooms are suites, according to what I was reading. Every room is a suite, just some are a little bit larger than others.
Right. And when we walked in, of course, I have a thing for windows, as you know. I love to check out, like, if there's a big window, I must see what's out there.
And that window up there was huge.
It was, and you could see the pool. Like, you look down and you could see the pool. If you are facing correctly, which we were not, you could see Disney property from there. We could see, like, 192. We saw Old Town.
Yes.
We needed to be turned just a little bit more to the side.
Yeah, they had us turned in to face their pool and their facility, and their events, or their amenities, I guess you could say. So we could see all that, which they have a lot, actually, to do around there.
They do, and I didn't even know that they had that much to do.
I didn't know it was that big.
No. So it's weird because, like, so the middle section where the restaurant and the pool is like all in one spot. But then if you go out into the parking lot, which I couldn't wrap my head around this, you have to go to the parking lot to see the convention area.
Right.
And then go to another way in the parking lot. There's a pickleball court there.
Yeah, so
there's bike fields, basketball.
Bike trails, which the free rentals of bikes. If you
Yeah.
want to go bike riding while you're there. They have catch and release fishing, which you can borrow poles and go fishing. They had all kinds of walking trails, jogging trails, biking trails. And they have the villas section, which is even larger suites.
Yeah, those are like apartments over there.
Yes, they were. I think the one I read said it was 1,100 square foot, sleep 6 people, 2 bedrooms in there. I think it had a hot tub.
Yeah, because we were watching the video in the room and you could see the different amenities. And one more thing before I forget, they actually have shuttle service to Disney parks from the hotel. So, I mean, it's literally 5 minutes.
It's a good neighbor hotel.
It is. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a Disney good neighbor hotel.
But it's really a great hotel. And actually the prices, so we were looking at the room rates, and standard rooms this weekend were $140 a night, which is not bad at all for a room like that.
No, and it's way bigger than Disney rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Way bigger.
If you're staying at a Value Resort at Disney, and you're going to pay at least $140, if not closer to
Probably
$240. This is a much better option financially. Gives you a lot more space. Not far at all, like you said.
No, it's right by Disney. And see, here's the thing. Follow me for a sec.
I'll follow.
So sidebar.
Already?
All right, let's talk about. Okay, so I would say these rooms are even bigger than the moderate resort rooms.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're big.
I would agree.
So why? Okay, I know Disney people are creatures of habit, because when I used to vacation here, I was the same way.
Right.
You know, and they have a lot of good neighbor resort hotels that are really close to other things. But then people want to stay in a quote unquote Disney hotel that you're going to pay 3 times for.
Yeah.
Which I get, but I don't. I'm saying if you, in today's economy, when people can't seem to afford as much of a vacation as they used to be able to, a resort like the Caribe Royale is a great option because it's a stone's throw to Disney Springs. They have shuttle service just like the Disney resorts do.
Right.
It's just a really good option. And like you can stay there, like, so we checked in Friday night.
Yes.
We ate at the sports bar that had they have gaming. They have virtual games in there.
Yeah, so they had like a golf simulator, but it wasn't, and I've done golf simulators before, but this one also had a football simulator, soccer, ice hockey, softball, zombie dodgeball. What else was there? There was carnival games.
Yeah.
I think there was 13 different games embedded. I guess this is Tiger Woods gaming company, this virtual simulator type thing, and it was so cool. And I know you had never done it before, and you got to play the golf a little bit, and you were just you had a hard time hitting the golf ball into the screen because you were worried, because it's a real golf ball, real club. And you're swinging full strength.
Yeah, and you're like 4 feet away from a wall, like a screen, and every time I swung with like cringing at the same time, because like when I was little, my dad taught me how to golf, and we used to go to the driving range all the time. So I have a pretty decent swing, I must say. Yeah. And I was afraid to use it
Right.
Because I'm like, but it's a wall. So like one time I swung and I totally missed and I was like snort laughing. And then I went and I hit it again. But it's just weird to have it like smack right in front of you.
Well, because you think naturally a golf ball is going to bounce. And it doesn't. The screen, whatever material the screen's made of, it literally stops the ball dead in its track and drops it to the ground.
You almost feel like you're doing something wrong. Like if you were to like totally get all hostile with somebody and like swing a golf club and like hit a wall. That's what it kind of felt like. It was almost like, those rooms that you can like break crap,
Yes. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, you go in there and they have like windshields.
You like go bust stuff up.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. Like I'm not supposed to hit a golf club into the wall like that, and it was weird, but it was really a lot of fun. And you can get food by the gaming area, and then they have a sit down area, and then I guess she said later in the evening it turns more nightclubby type of thing.
Yeah,
they have music and they kind of lower the lights at night and stuff, which we didn't get to go back, but that was a lot of fun.
And she said it was open till 2.
Yeah.
Which one thing we found is that I know when we used to vacation at Disney, you get back to the resort after a day at the parks or whatever, and hopefully your food court was still open wherever you were staying, because if not, you weren't getting any more food for the night if you were hungry, and there was really nothing to do at that time. It's kind of like
no, they don't have any late night activities.
Right.
If you're a night owl, because I'm a night owl, I prefer evening much more than morning. I hate mornings.
Right.
I'm just not that person.
Which is why we never do rope drop.
No, heck no. No. If I had my choice to do parks morning or night, I will take night every time.
Oh, I would too.
Plus the parks are so pretty at night. But I'm just not that person. But anyway, so somebody like myself who likes to stay up late, it's perfect. The pool is open till 11.
It was a heated pool. So the pool was always between 80 to 84 degrees, it said. During the day, there was a DJ there who was there almost all day, I would say.
He played really good music. I approve.
He was there in the morning, and then he was still there in the later afternoon hours. So he must play 8 hours of straight music.
Yeah, and then he left, and they were still playing music. So I don't know if he has a set that he leaves, or if they have, you know what I mean, like something that just plays through at the pool.
Right.
But yeah, there's something to be said for sitting next to a pool and having people bring you food. And the poolside restaurant bar type of thing had really good food. It wasn't like crap. It wasn't just, It
was good sized portions, so it was well worth.
Finished mine.
Yeah, exactly. We so because we were there as guests of the hotel, which we fully admit we were comped for everything we did while we were there. Our lunch that day, they said you could order an appetizer, entree, dessert.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody,
and 2 drinks,
and everybody did who was there as part of this media blitz. They did, but I ordered chicken wings, which they were fantastic. Then I ordered a chicken sandwich with fries, and then we ordered a strawberry shortcake. I did, and I
got the key lime pie.
You got key lime pie, and then what'd you have to eat?
I had a buffalo chicken salad, which I didn't finish. I feel really bad because I don't like to order like. My mom always said your eyes are bigger than your stomach. And I think they said that this weekend. I'm like, I ordered too much.
But breakfast on Sunday we did for sure.
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah. And so they wanted you to try, in order to do a fair review, they wanted you to try as many things as you could.
Mm-hmm.
And they want honesty. They're not, they're not telling us to say these nice things. Right. These are truly our opinion. Because if it was not a good stay, I don't know if we'd even talk about it.
We probably just mentioned we went there, and that'd probably be about it.
Probably.
But I think it was well worth the time, the stay.
I would go back. If they asked us to go back, I definitely would. And I would recommend it to other people because I enjoyed it and I felt relaxed. And I don't relax ever.
And they do have a spa there if you're interested in that. They do have
I would have loved to have a facial or something. But
I will say the sports place we went to on Friday night, it was like a group dinner that night. They had probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had since we moved to Florida.
And that's a huge statement coming from Scott because he is a big pizza snob and he doesn't like pizza anywhere except for Michigan.
Yeah, this pizza was fantastic. It was a hot and spicy pepperoni flatbread, and it had the pepperoni cups formed like they're supposed to, and they poured hot honey in the cups. Oh, it was so good.
You should see his face right now. His eyes light up when he talks about pizza.
I'm so hungry right now.
He's got a glow, a little
have a
glisten
glow.
in his eyes. Oh,
But that was Friday night, so we went to the dinner. We had a fiasco happen to us that had nothing to do with the hotel, which we will get to after we finish the hotel.
Yeah.
Some of you who are my fans on Facebook may have seen my post about it.
right. And it's like real life true crime.
Real life true
Because I
crime.
love true crime.
You do love true crime. So after dinner, they ended up taking us to. They have a rum bar at the hotel.
Oh, I forgot about the rum bar.
Yeah, so they took us there. Everybody had drinks.
And a
there.
specialty rum drinks. I had some sort of like fruity drink of sorts, and it was delicious. I don't know what it was.
Actually, I don't think you said anything bad about any of the drinks over the weekend that they gave to you to try.
I usually don't meet a drink I don't like. That's not true. If it's
Well, sometimes they're too fruit juice and no drink.
well, see, but sometimes those are the dangerous ones that taste like punch, and then it's got alcohol that you don't really taste, and then by the
Right.
time it catches up with you, it's not a good situation.
Right.
But the drinks were really good. I had a pina colada out by the pool that was delicious. But you don't want to drink too much of those heavy drinks, because I think that's part of the reason at the pool day that I didn't eat as much of my lunch is because I had the pina coladas.
Is that it?
I think it was.
They were a little bit too filling.
They are filling. I'm sure. I didn't weigh myself this morning because I don't want to know.
I weighed myself and it was bad. So that was Friday night. So Saturday morning we get up and they had an early morning breakfast for us at the restaurant called Tropical, and it had a menu you could order off of, and they'd bring you food, or they had a little breakfast buffet you could go to. So we ended up going to the buffet and trying that out.
Yes, we did.
There, it was okay. I mean, it's a buffet. I mean,
right. I mean, it wasn't like I don't know. It's what am I trying to say? It wasn't bad, but it was almost like fast breakfast food. Like they had the eggs, and some pancakes and some fruit and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so if you're gonna run in and get something before you go head out for the day, I guess it's a good choice.
It is, and if you're kind of fussy or whatever, or you I don't know how to say this right, but if you tend to eat more food than most people do for breakfast, that the buffet probably.
What are you trying to say?
No, I'm just saying. Some people, before you go out to the parks for the day, you want to.
I know we used to always load up.
Yeah, you load up on carbs. That way, you're not feeling nauseous in the heat.
Yeah, because especially in the heat,
and it's been bad still.
It's been very bad.
Yeah.
So then after we had our breakfast there, we did a pool day, and then we had dinner at their chop house, which had Italian food as well.
Right, and it was very good. I mean, it was a AAA diamond restaurant inside their hotel. I had the New York strip steak, which I don't order steak ever.
No, you don't.
Because I usually have a hard time with digesting and such. But it was very good. What else did we have with it though? We had appetizer. Oh, the appetizer. I had the the caprese.
The caprese, and
it was very good.
I had soup, but it was too spicy.
Pasta fagioli.
Yeah, I had that soup. I've never had it that spicy before. I couldn't eat it.
I wonder if there was something like fennel or something.
I don't know what the heck it was, but it was burning my lips. And then
my cheese and tomatoes were good.
I know, I had some. Then I ordered the chicken parmesan, and you have to, your sides are separate. We got potatoes, and I got broccolini with hollandaise sauce. And then for dessert, I had this chocolate dome that catches on fire, and there's gelato inside.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
I had the limoncello cheesecake.
Oh, I know.
With blueberry, the puree or compote.
Top.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, and I don't remember what I had to drink. I had something.
It was flaming though. Your drink was flaming too,
yeah,
because there was a lime in it with alcohol that was burning.
They brought me a drink and it was on fire when I got it.
Yeah.
It was there was an upside down lime that was on fire. I don't know what it was. So my dessert and my drink were on fire.
I know. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
And your pasta set your mouth on fire, or your
right,
soup.
Right, and home. So we left there very, very, very full.
Very full.
And then we just kind of bummed around the rest of the night.
Yes.
And then the next morning they sent breakfast to our room.
Right.
And if I had to choose between the buffet and in-room breakfast, in-room breakfast was so much better.
Hands down, it was great. It was
nice and fresh.
Nice and fresh. It was not small portions. The portions were huge. So for me, I got the build your own omelet, which came with breakfast potatoes and toast. I didn't eat it all. it was a lot
No,
of
we
food.
couldn't finish it. I got chocolate chip pancakes like I'm 5.
Oh my God, they were huge.
They were huge. I didn't get to finish it.
Was
And
there
then
3 or 4 of them?
there was like 4, and they were like size of frisbees.
I thought they were going to be like the little silver dollar size.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But
You and me
full
both.
size pancakes there.
But I have to say the highlight was the best croissants I've ever had my entire life. Now, I am a croissant connoisseur. I love a croissant.
So when it comes to pizza, that's me. When it
I
comes
love
to
a good
croissants,
croissant.
It's you.
And just like drinks, I haven't really met too many croissants I haven't liked either. But these were like, picture like fresh out of the oven, still warm croissants. And the
Sitting
big
under the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Yeah.
You smell the wee-wee.
What's
you
the
don't-
wee-wee?
You don't smell the wee-wee. You smell the wee-wee and then
Yeah,
you eat
I
the
know. Okay,
croissant.
we don't want to smell wee wee anywhere. That's no, it's not a bathroom.
And that's why I don't eat croissants.
Anyway, they're the
That's
best.
what makes them taste so good.
Okay, you're nasty. They were the best croissants I've ever had, and I took one home to Aiden because I didn't finish it, and he's like, "Mom, that was the best croissant ever."
But they had, so you ordered their croissants, but then they called us and said, oh, they're out of croissants. They weren't going to bring them. So you're like, okay, well, bring me a bagel with cream cheese. And so they ended up, you got the croissants and the bagel.
I had the carb special.
You did. And they brought you a side of potatoes to go with your pancakes.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And then they brought the coffee and they brought
And
orange juice, which we
juice.
never ordered. I had ordered a muffin, cranberry orange muffin, which I ate later. That was
It
very
was
good.
all really, really good. And while you're there, they do have a Starbucks on property
Yes.
as well, so you don't have to necessarily eat all the fancy. And then they have a market that had, walk-up sandwiches and
And
stuff like
so
that.
many nice desserts.
And lots of desserts. They had
they
a whole
looked so
dessert
good.
counter with ice cream, too.
They did. They had the, it was the, was it Nancy's? Is that who it
Kelly's?
is? Kelly's ice cream? Maybe it's Kelly's ice cream.
I don't know.
And they had 8 different flavors of that. And that was all, it wasn't soft serve. It was harder
The hard ice cream. I like that stuff.
And then they also had like pizzas and sandwich you could order there. They also had sandwiches cold and such like that, and salads and stuff.
It was an expensive marketplace.
It
but
was.
Yeah.
But when you're here on vacation, everything's expensive.
That's true. So anyway, Caribe Royale, we give it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Definitely.
Close to Disney, give it a try. Take a look at their webpage. Just look up Caribe Royale Orlando.
Yes.
And you can find them on social media too. They did a amazing job. We had a great time, and we would definitely go back.
Oh, and a heartbeat, go back. It's just down from the World Center Marriott, so if you know where that is, this isn't the part from there, and it's closer to that side of Disney Springs coming in through the Disney.
I think they said it's 3/4 mile to Disney Springs.
Yeah, you could either take World Drive right, or is that World Drive? No, what's that?
You're asking me directions?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Anyway. So anyway, it's a good place.
There's 2 ways to get into Disney right there, which are both very close. So definitely 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did mention a little bit about, we had a little fiasco happen to us Friday night.
True crime, like
True
Law
crime.
and Order.
Where's that?
Dun dun.
Dun-dun.
Go ahead.
So we're sitting there at the dinner at the sports bar, and my phone lights up, and I get PayPal alerts on my phone when I've used my card, and it popped up and said, "You've spent $272.48 at Texas Roadhouse," and then it listed the Roadhouse number. I'm like, "No, I didn't. I'm sitting right here at the hotel's sports bar." So I told Michele, I said, "I'm going to go call right now because it just popped up. I want to call, take care of it now before I wait." I was almost done eating, so it didn't matter. So I got up, I went in the hallway, I called PayPal, explained the situation where I was at. They're like, "Okay, yep, no problem. We're going to go ahead and cancel it. We do show that you're in Kissimmee." This ended up being a Texas Roadhouse in Pennsylvania.
Which we've never been to Pennsylvania.
Never been to. So I went back. So they said they canceled the transaction. They would cancel my card, send me a new card, 7 to 10 business days, blah, blah, blah. So I go back into the table. I'm explaining it to Michele what's going on. And then I was like, I'm curious exactly where the restaurant was, because they told me, but I couldn't really understand exactly what the lady said. So I looked it up, and I went into the Texas Roadhouse app because I was just going to look up the restaurant number to find out exactly where it was. Well, I open up the Texas Roadhouse app on my phone, and this big order pops up right in front of me, which is the order that this person put in for $272 of Texas Roadhouse food. And they ordered a ton of food.
They ordered ribs, steak, chicken.
Kids meals. And 1 order of cheesecake.
And 1 piece of cheesecake.
Go figure.
But yeah, so think of like 20 dinners from Texas Roadhouse.
So as we're sitting there, I'm reading this, and then all of a sudden it says, "Order to be ready at 8:53. It was like 8:40 at the time. I'm like, Oh, they haven't picked it
I'm
up
like,
yet.
get out in the hallway and call them, let them know.
So I called the Texas Roadhouse in Pennsylvania. and I asked, as soon as they picked up, I'm like, can I speak to a manager, please? They're like, what's this regarding? And I kind of briefly explained it. So they got me to a manager, and I explained the situation to the manager. The manager said, so you're whole. You didn't lose anything. Your money got refunded, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, PayPal took care of all that. I said, I'm mostly calling because I don't want you to turn over all this food and stuff to this person, and then you're not getting paid for it. And he appreciated that, and he said that they were going to talk to the person when they got there, and they were going to have the authorities there with them when he showed up to get the food to take care of this situation. So I came back to the table and I explained that to everybody, and everybody's like really loving the whole true crime story that we had going on.
We talked about it like the rest of the night.
We did. So the next thing was I went into the app again, and I noticed that this great criminal, because they are fantastic, put their cell phone number in the app.
Yeah, this fool put his phone number in there.
Because at Texas Roadhouse, if you've ever picked up a phone and order mobily, when you get there, they send you a text message before you arrive saying, arrive at this time. When you get here, respond to this text with here and the space number you're in, and we'll bring your food out to you. So this fool gave them his phone number in the app. Well, I quickly changed my password in the Texas Roadhouse app so he couldn't change it to whatever he wanted to. So I have this phone number, which I did post on my Facebook page. So if anybody wanted to call and harass this guy and ask him how his Texas Roadhouse food was, they can.
Hopefully he didn't get it. And you know what? So here's the thing. So this idiot used your Texas Roadhouse app with your debit card information, and he's going to pull up at the restaurant, sit in the parking spot, waiting for his almost $300 worth of food on a stolen card.
Yeah.
And how do you do that, first of all? And you know what I hope? I hope when he sat there and, you watch the door for someone to bring your food out, I hope it was a cop.
That would have been funny.
And I'm so invested. Like, I feel like it's like unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
Like, I have to have closure, and I have no closure because we
don't know what happened.
Did they bust the guy?
Right.
I really hope so, because
hope so
you
too.
called in time for him to not get the food. But we're just trying to make it so we're not out the money and they're not out the food, and
Right.
shame on this guy. I mean, I don't know if he was feeding his whole neighborhood or what.
Yeah, I know. He's having a party, obviously, with all the food he ordered. And what sucks about the whole situation is it actually inconveniences us more than anybody.
It does.
So I had to call PayPal. I had to make all these phone calls. So I sat on hold forever. PayPal took care of it on their end, but now I got to wait 7 to 10 days for my new card to show up, which that's my card I use for a lot of bill payments, a lot of our other things. It's just our general card if we go to the grocery store. That's what I use.
You have to wait for them to recredit again, for it to go through the system. So it
Yes.
takes like 2 seconds for your stolen money to go out of your account, and then
Right.
days for it to go back.
Right.
So because of this idiot, then we don't have our card, and we're out $300 till it puts it back, which we can't afford to be out $300.
Right.
So I really do hope that this guy got major busted.
I hope so too, because it sucks, and I know credit card fraud and all that happens all the time. But if any lesson I've learned that I could teach anybody is do not save your credit card information into your mobile apps. And we all do it though. That's the whole thing. We were talking about with everybody there. Amazon, you probably have your credit card saved in your Amazon app. If you have Disney Plus or Netflix or any of those, you have your credit card all saved in that information, and you do it just for billing.
Well, because every time you buy something on an app or something, it says save this card for next time.
Right.
And yeah, I usually do.
Yeah.
So.
And I think most people do, but now I'm not. And I went through most of my apps. I don't know if I've gone through them all yet, but I've gone through most of my apps, and I've removed all my card information. Now I'll just enter it it's on my phone, but it's not in the app.
And it's funny because the PR people that were sitting us at the table, they're like, oh my gosh, everybody starts opening their apps on their phone to see if they have cards in there. But yeah, I would have never even thought that he would go into somebody's app. How does that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know. There must have been a security breach on Texas Roadhouse app. That's how they broke into it. But the best part of all this, I got an email the next day from Texas Roadhouse. How was your experience? How was the food? I don't know. I didn't get to eat the $300 worth of food.
No.
And I hope he didn't either. I don't think he did, but hopefully the place
nerve
was all out of everything, or the employees got to eat the food rather than him. I don't care if they lost. I mean, Texas Roadhouse, $300 is a lot of food to lose, but that's not what they lost. It would have been less than that.
Right, but it's just the whole principle of the thing. Like, don't be that guy.
If you're starving, okay, fine, take the food.
This dude was having a party.
He was having a party. He even ordered a gallon of iced tea.
I forgot about the
gallon
of iced tea.
I mean, it's like, come on.
How many, and here's the funny part.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy goes to the Texas Roadhouse to pick up $300 worth of food for like half the neighborhood.
Right. Who are probably all sitting in his house waiting.
And now all these people are going to be sitting waiting for their stolen food when he, for him to come back, and he's going to come back with nothing, or he's not going to come back. He's going to have to use his phone call to call one of these people waiting on the stolen food.
So not only they're not getting $300 worth of food, but now somebody's going to come in with bail money.
Yeah. Justice.
Steal that. How you going to steal that one there, buddy? Anyway, that was our crime sleuth story from Friday night.
I know Friday night was very exciting.
It was.
Oh my goodness. So yeah.
And the other thing we forgot to mention it that we did last week because we didn't do our show last Monday because we were at a pool party for the holiday. So we didn't mention that we went and hung out at Chuck's house.
Well, we did our show, but we did it on Sunday.
No, I know, but we didn't talk about what we did on Monday for the holiday.
Oh no, we went to our friend's house for a barbecue pool party.
It was fun.
It was fun.
I had a good time.
I always have a good time when we can mingle. And you know what? I'm just gonna say this. When we moved here, I had such a hard time not being invited to family pool parties and stuff like that because it was one of the things that since I was a kid I always enjoyed.
Right.
And when we were driving back, I had that same feeling, tired from the sun, you smell like chlorine from the pool, you've had enough to eat, and it just a nice feeling. Yes. And I miss that.
And we were worn out that day. We were so tired by the time we got home.
I know.
Being in the sun all day.
Yeah, in the sun all day. But it was
eating all day.
Oh my gosh, yes. And yeah, I ate cookies all day. It was a very nice
it was.
Monday out.
It was. So that's why we didn't really do anything Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because we were recouping. I think we were catching up on work and everything because we knew we were going to be away all weekend. So. So anyway, now we can move on to Disney news.
Okay.
So the first thing, as many of you probably have seen on social media, is that a lot of stuff has come out about Tiana's Bayou Adventure with the Disney releasing the full ride through, which you can see on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, they released it Saturday morning.
Yes. And then cast member previews started, where they can bring, what is up to 3 guests each?
2 or 3, I'm not sure.
Guests. So lots of people have gotten to already ride Tiana's before the media has. And people are filming it, which is kind of odd because we're not even allowed to do that.
Yeah, I know there's gonna be other people in the media that are gonna question that next week because why is it everyone else can take videos and photos but we can't? Yeah, that's not right.
We can do a camera mount that they'll have for us.
They're gonna have the ride cams.
Yeah,
but yeah, that doesn't really tell you all the insides anyway.
No.
So. Yes, cast member. So here's the thing. Disney put out the full ride through in anticipation ahead of time to beat the cast preview because the cast members always have a vlogger, blogger, whatever approach them like, hey, can I go with you, blah, blah, blah. So they scoop the all the spoilers before the media gets it. Right. So, Disney was trying to beat any vlogger, blogger, whatever that's going to get the information before the media. The ride doesn't even open till the 28th. Right. So between Disney putting out the POV video and then vloggers that are already putting out footage, plus cast members putting out footage, and then so a week from today is our media day for Tiana's, and it's almost like, yeah, we're going to go and we're going to have fun and we're going to check everything out, get all the information we can, but none of y'all are going to be surprised.
No, everybody's
it's already out there.
It. Unless people are holding out to see it, which we have not watched the whole ride video.
Yeah, Disney sent me the video in my email, but I have not watched it because I don't want to be spoiled. But if you scroll social media, or I read former Twitter every night. Right. And as you scroll, videos play.
They play automatically.
And I've seen parts of the end of the party scene at the end. Okay. And I've sorry, that was Ava.
Ava's in here with us. The table squeaked. What is she?
So I've read comments. And here's
what is the crowd saying about it so far?
Okay, so the crowd is saying,
why are you whispering?
I don't know.
That's kind of creepy when people whisper.
I'm telling the dirt on what I read.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's what it is.
Okay.
So what I've seen, what I've seen on social media is this ride is breaking down a whole lot.
Now, how is that possible when this ride was running for years?
Like over 25 plus years, and it went every day. Now they changed the animatronics in there, and now it's breaking down left and right.
Right.
So I saw on Twitter today that people sat in a queue for over 3 hours.
Wow.
And then they were asked to leave. They didn't even
Oh
get
my
to go in.
gosh.
Yeah.
So my opinion, so the ride, like you said, the ride was running for all those years, and that ride is not running on a track, but when you're climbing the hill, then you have the belt that takes you up. But most of the time, it's just the water flow carries the boat through the ride. So what's breaking down? Is it the animatronics breaking down throughout the ride? I know you said there were screens throughout the ride.
Yeah. No, this is just the little peaks that I've seen and what I've read.
Right.
So I've read stuff, but I don't want to see it because I really, okay, here's the thing. And I'm not trying to sound sour grapes, but it is a little sour grapes.
Sour grapes.
Yes, I'm kind of a sour grape right now because I like I was talking about before, when I cover a media event, I want us all to see things at the same time. I want to have an unbiased opinion with no preconceived ideas before I walk in, or I've read this, or I think
you've seen this.
Yeah. I like to be able to do like my first thoughts, and to be able to relay that to our audience.
Right, I agree.
But this time it's all messed up. I mean, between Disney putting out all the info and then between the cast member previews and such, it's almost like the element of surprise is gone. But I'm trying really hard because when I go in, I want to be able to give it an honest thing.
Right. And I'm not mad at the cast members for getting their preview at all. I just wish Disney would have done something like, okay, we're going to lock up your cameras before you get on the road, or you're going to take your phones, put them in the bags, which they have done to us before.
Yes, they have.
So that we don't record. They could do the same thing to cast members and their guests, and if they don't want to do it, then they just simply don't get to ride the ride.
Right. So our PR last week said that they were going to try to have that stopped to where people couldn't take video and pictures, but obviously that never happened.
Right.
And and from a PR standpoint, it kind of stinks because like they're inviting to this media event, international media. I mean, all over the world, the media is going to be there, but everybody's going to have seen it.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how I feel about all of that, and I think it breaking down a lot is very concerning.
Yes.
It reminds me of like Rise of the Resistance, how that goes down all the time.
Yeah.
But that is a very technologically advanced ride.
Right. It's very complex how everything has to work together for it to go off flawlessly.
Right. And this is a log ride that has been there for years.
Right.
So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is, but I've seen people use words like boring, disappointing,
That's sad.
underwhelming. They said the animatronics are great,
Right.
but there's a lot of dead space in there where there's nothing going on. I guess they've utilized some screens as well, and people weren't happy. Because if you think about it, Splash Mountain was all animatronics.
All the way through.
Yeah, or little animals or whatever. And this doesn't have that.
Yeah, there was never a dull area in Splash Mountain, really, that you rode through. There was always something going on somewhere.
Right.
Whether if you're climbing up a hill, even then you're looking at the vultures who are above you before you do the big drop.
Right.
You see the animals on the side. Brer Rabbit trying to get into the hole there and disappear. And it's like we lost all that.
We did, and but now this is hearsay again. Now I can't tell you firsthand because I'm just telling you what I'm reading.
Right.
But then I've seen people say, "Oh, it's cute." I haven't heard a rounding, standing ovation, but some people say it's really cute. Other positive things that I've heard is that the animatronics are wonderful.
Okay.
They're very high tech, kind of like what they have overseas.
Oh, that'll be nice then to have something like that.
Yes.
So, and you haven't heard yet if this is going to be a virtual queue.
Supposed to start off as virtual, but they didn't say for how long.
Okay. So my question is, when that goes on virtual, will Tron come off virtual?
Tron needs to come off. So does Guardians.
Yes, they
this
both
is ridiculous.
It is. It's been way too long to have those rides on virtual queue. And I don't understand that, especially Splash Mountain. People waited in line for an hour and a half for Splash Mountain before.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
Let them wait again. Yeah, if they want to see the new ride, fine, but let them wait. And if people want to wait in line to see it, let them wait in line if they want to, but don't make everybody get up at 7 a.m. to try to get a reservation or get a reservation and end up having to stay in the park 12 hours, even if they're done for the day, because they don't want to lose their reservation.
Well, do you remember, another sidebar, back in 2017 when we covered the opening of Pandora?
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, Flight of Passage was all the rage.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to ride it. And then when it opened, there was like a 4-hour line to ride it. But there was a line that you could stand in. It was your choice.
Right. You could do
it wasn't
either
virtual.
Right.
Because I remember seeing pictures. Because we didn't go opening day because we had just been there for the media weekend.
And we'd already done it. So it was like, why add 2 more bodies or 4 more if the boys went with us? Why add that much more to the line? Let everybody ride it.
Right. So the line of Flight of Passage is in the back of, Pandora. And the line went all the way out, kind of almost to the Tree of Life. It was very, very long.
So you had to leave the land to get in line for that.
Basically, yeah. So, but my whole point is that those were new. Everything was new back there, and you had the option to stand in line. I'm not a fan of virtual queues.
No, either am I.
Not for as long as they keep them around for, because our kids still haven't even rode Tron because of the virtual thing.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier, and I said I could see doing a virtual queue for like a 3-month window. Do it for the first 3 months. That way you're working on bugs without having 10,000 people in line for the ride.
Yeah.
So if it does break down, yeah, it stinks that it breaks down, but you don't have a 5-hour wait of people in that line at that time. So it gives you a little bit of time for that. But if people, after the 3 months, if you're willing to wait in line for it, let them wait in line.
Well, yeah, that's your choice. And again, so
or you could get that thing that we don't like, Genie Plus, at that point and pay to ride it.
I won't ever.
I'm not saying you, but there is people who are traveling here who are only going to be here for that week for the next 2 years, and they want to ride the ride.
Okay, yeah. If I knew I wasn't going to be back for a while, maybe. But as a local, there ain't no way.
No, as a local, no. But look at Rise of the Resistance. The line is hour to an hour and a half usually when I check it.
It's sometimes less.
Sometimes less. It just depends when you get there. But now you can just go and wait in line. And that was the big one. Everybody wanted to Rise of the Resistance, and I don't blame them. It is probably still my favorite ride at all of Disney.
And isn't that the first one they launched virtual queue on because everybody was confused?
I believe it was.
Because I remember seeing pictures of people in the park. You had to be in the park at the time at 7 a.m. and people were lining up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. And then wasn't Remy the next one? Or no, was it Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway? I can't remember. One of those was next.
I don't think Runaway was virtual queue.
No, it wasn't?
I have no idea. I can't speak on things for sure, but I know that it's a fairly newer concept. They didn't have it before.
I remember us waiting for the Frozen show at the studios. At like 12:50, we were sitting outside the room. It was a 1 o'clock show or 1:15 show. I was sitting there on my phone ready to try to get a 1 o'clock reservation for Rise of the Resistance. 1 o'clock hit, and I hit submit, and we still missed out. It was 1 o'clock for 3 seconds, and it was already full. That's how quickly the reservation system filled up for Rise. I'm just not a fan of it. There has to be another way to make it work. Or you know what? Just let people wait in line, and if they want a faster way, let them pay.
Well, and here's the thing. So I'm not usually opposed to technology because I like to see how things progress.
Right.
But at the other end of it, I think that if it's not broken, don't fix it. I think Disney added too many things to be, current with the times for whatever reason. And it doesn't work as well as the old-fashioned way.
Right, yeah.
And I think a lot of people, if they would just go back to pre-COVID times and how we did things, everything was running quite well.
It was.
And people weren't being priced out. And you didn't have to get up at 7 a.m. to try to get a virtual queue. I think that's the thing. So resorting back to what I said earlier in the show, I hate mornings.
Right.
I am not getting up at 6:30 in the morning to.
And you might not get it.
Right.
That's
and I'd be double pissed.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, you could get up and be up by 7 to get your reservation, and you still might not get it.
Yeah,
or you might get it an hour from now if you're one of the first people in it, and now you gotta get dressed and ready and get to the park quick because your virtual queue could start in an hour. Granted, you have an hour once it starts, But you'd have to get there if you
Right,
weren't
and then
already
if you
there.
get into the virtual line at 1:00, you might not ride it till the park closes, and I'm not willing to wait 10 hours for that either.
Which we've had that happen many times with Tron. We'll be in the park before 1:00. 1:00 hits, and we'll get a reservation for Tron. But we end up leaving at 5 or 6 o'clock. We get home about 9 o'clock that night. We get your Tron reservation has now been called. Please return to
Your
Tron.
group number. Yeah. So we just, I mean, but for those of you who may think we sound like whiners, we live 5 minutes from property. So, we have a different perspective because we live here.
Right. And I fully get it. If you come once every 2 years, once every 5 years, whatever you come, and you're here and you want to, what? I want to ride Rise. I want to ride.
I would pay for it.
I want to ride Tiana's. I want to ride this or that. Guardians is a must too. I could see getting Disney Plus. Then I can justify the expense. Do I agree that Disney charges that? No. But I understand why they do it, the business side of it, because people want to do it. They're going to pay for it. I remember years ago, we went to a Disney After Hours event at Magic Kingdom. And I remember talking to our friend Alan, and Alan was from Chicago, and he would tell us often, he goes, if I flew into town and I was only here for 2 or 3 days, he goes, I would do the After Hours event over the daytime events or daytime ticket because he said I could knock out every ride in about 4 hours because the crowds are so much lower. It made it worth whatever the price adjustment was to go for that 4 or 5 hours as opposed to going for the entire day because you're not going to wait in line in the hot sun dealing with more people.
See, I like that idea much better because you can knock out a lot of things in the evening at the parks and it's not as hot.
If you're at a party, Halloween or Christmas party, if you're not looking for, if you don't go to meet the characters and if you don't care about seeing every stage show and every parade thing and everything else and you want to ride rides, you can knock out a ton of rides at the Halloween and Christmas
I
party.
know a lot of people that have actually done that, and it does make sense. You can get more in, plus some special merchandise or whatever you want to get. I don't know what the answer is. I just feel like that them doing things a certain way that people aren't happy with, but then they keep doing it.
Because people keep coming.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem. People, they still hit record numbers at the attendance box. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, they made record profits, but they raised prices. Yeah, but the number of people coming through the gate went up. You could still
Which I don't get.
No, I don't get that either. You could still have 5 million people walk through the gate, or you have 5.5 million people come through the gate. It's more people, and that's what added to it. So it doesn't matter what they're paying. If there's more numbers coming through the gate, they're going to make more profit. But it just blows me away that people will pay it. And that's what I've always said. If a business is going to charge whatever they can get for their service. And that's Disney service. And Disney, like we've said before, is not a need in life. It is a luxury. And if you want to have that luxury and you want to have it faster, you unfortunately have to dish out more money.
Yeah, which I'm not willing to do.
And I'm not willing to. And a lot of people don't have it right now. And there is kind of that whole problem with the economy right now. It kind of stinks. So
oh, yeah, there's that. People need to buy groceries and gas.
Yeah, exactly. We went to the grocery store today. We spent $100. We didn't buy anything. We bought dog food.
We bought laundry detergent.
Dog food.
Oh, dog treats.
And that was really, and it hit $100 really quick. I was like, holy cow.
I know whenever we could do, because we do self-checkout a lot, whenever our total comes up on the screen, we both look at each other and gasp like,
I got 7 items, $94.
What
How does that work out?
Yeah, but I'm going to go buy Genie Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Sorry,
'cause-
Disney.
Yeah, I get it. Some people's time is worth that much money, but it's like,
As a local, it doesn't make sense. And I don't know any local friends that pay for that.
because you would do it how often? You did it once, you'll do it again.
Yeah.
You can't give in, and I would never want to give in.
Or the
and
a la
pay it.
carte rides where you pay so much money to ride a ride. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I wish Disney would do something like Universal does, though, with like when you're
After hours.
after
4 o'clock.
Right. So at Universal, if you're a certain level of pass holder, after 4 o'clock, you can go through the express line for any ride once on that visit. So when we were Universal pass holders, we would wait and leave for the park about 3 o'clock. So by the time we got there, got into the park and everything, now 4 o'clock.
Now everything's walk on.
Now everything's walk on. And I mean, there's a couple rides that they don't let you walk on, like Hagrid's motorbike is not a walk on.
I wish it was.
Well, Velocicoaster is.
Yeah, which I don't understand that either.
Yeah, so you
Maybe we just don't understand how things work.
I guess we don't. What do we know?
What do we know, right?
We're just some rookies out here not knowing what we're doing.
We know nothing.
We know nothing. So that's what's going on with the cast previews. And as Michelle told me earlier, and all the hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo.
So that's what we were talking about. Something else that happened in the last week is paperwork has been filed for an expansion at Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm. Like, I read it once. I don't know exact details, but enough for a fifth gate is what they're saying. We'll see about that. Just because they filed it. And then, of course, the expansion behind Big Thunder Mountain. So, like, these papers were filed with the county or whatever, but there was no details as to what they're going to do with that land. But there's all kinds of speculation. And some people, I was just reading this afternoon that some people... Now, Disney has flat out said that they're not worried about Epic Universe.
Right.
But everybody online is saying they should be.
That's not exactly true, though, because we have somebody who works in the Disney bubble who told us that there is departments who are kind of in charge of doing this that are a little bit worried about what Epic
Okay, but I'm
Universe is
saying
gonna bring.
publicly PR.
Publicly, they can't.
They can't.
They can't. They got to look like they puff the chest out and they go, we're bigger, we're not worried about that.
Right.
But behind the scenes, they've got to be a little bit worried about, even if they lose 15% of the audience to Epic Universe, they're not going to, the parks aren't going to empty out to go to Epic.
So what I read today was that this isn't some, small scale carnival ride expansion. These are high tech rides.
Yes.
With beautiful scenery around and very immersive and restaurants and all these things. So it is something that is definitely in competition. Mm-hmm. And those rides that they have there could be more technologically advanced because they are brand new.
Yes.
So, the expansion behind Big Thunder is pretty much a go. We don't know what they're going to do. But a fifth gate, now someone else said that this paperwork could, be, they're not going to do this for 10 or 20 years.
I think it said over 10 years.
Yeah. So we don't, okay, so that's just to give you an idea. We don't really know what they're doing, but they're going to be doing something.
And we also know they're getting ready to do an expansion in Disneyland. So how can they possibly have enough Imagineers to do full-scale expansions at Disneyland, expansions here, as well as a fifth gate here? I don't think it's going to work.
It's going to have to be spaced out. So I don't think that we're going to get anything
major
anytime soon. But we should find out, hopefully, at the D23 Expo, when all the announcements come out. Disney will be blasting new information, and let's hope it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it took them 4 years to open Tron. It took 4 years for Splash to become Tiana's. So it's like, how long is it going to take for a fifth gate? I mean, it's a
lot of years.
It's going to take a lot. And Epic.
I hope we're still alive when it opens.
Why would you say that? But Epic is already testing their rides, fully testing their rides to make sure that they are running for the ones that they can. They're testing them every day because they want to make sure they're not going to have any of these downage issues like Tiana's is currently having, like Rise had.
Right. So from what we're hearing, from the Universal side, is that they are going to make sure that they are not going to have these mishaps when they open, that these rides are going to be ready to go and tested for months before.
Right. And I'm excited about Epic. I am. I mean, the last major park to open was Animal Kingdom here. Correct?
Yeah.
For Disney. Mm-hmm. And that was in 98. So it's been 26 years as of right now. Just over, since there's been a new major theme park built in this area. Volcano Bay, I don't count as a water park. Islands came about the same time, didn't it?
99, I think.
99, so a year later. But this is and Islands is another park, but Epic I picture being just humongous. It's bigger than Animal Kingdom.
And it's not near the others.
No, I can't wait to see it, honestly. I'm really excited to see what
So we'll have to let you guys know as we hear more, but that's the scoop right now.
Wow, we started talking about Universal. We were still in Disney news.
Oh, shoot. That's okay. I know we're getting close to our hour. So.
We are. So the other thing we want to talk about with Disney news is that on Wednesday, Michele and I leave for our little voyage as we're going to go to Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point on the Disney Magic.
We are. So Wednesday, we will be hitting the Bright Line at the airport.
Which we'll be talking all about to you guys.
To go to Fort Lauderdale to get on the Magic Thursday morning. We have a 3-day cruise going to Lighthouse Point. Right. So we're going to get to check out the new island before anybody else. So that is one thing that we're going to have the scoop on.
Hopefully. Unless they send somebody like a helicopter the day before just to get video and put it all out there.
Yeah, but from what we were told, our sailing is going to be the first people that's on that island to see it. So I would really appreciate if you guys followed our social media. Thursday. On Friday. Because Thursday we're getting
Oh, that's
on
right.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thursday we get on the ship, and then Friday we're going to be at
the island.
right at Lookout Key, and then on Saturday the ship is going to Nassau, but we're probably not going to get off the ship in Nassau.
No, because they have like seminars and things or panels that we need to go and listen to. So it's content gathering. Because again, this is a work trip. It's
a media cruise. Actually, I think that if there is any guests, there are very few guests that will be on the ship. It's going to be mostly media.
But they said international media, worldwide media. And then when we get, like, I think we've said this before, but we get off the ship on Sunday and have to take the Bright Line back to Orlando and then be at the Contemporary by a certain time to get our event credentials for the next media event, which is at Epcot that night.
That evening. And then we found out last week, which we haven't talked to you guys since. So we have as Michele was just saying, we have an event at Epcot on Sunday evening, but then Monday morning we have to be back at Disney by 7 a.m. and we're on the schedule till after midnight with events to do. So from 7 a.m. till midnight, we will be working to put out all the details, information such that they're throwing at us all day long. So stay close to your social media feeds.
Yes, make sure that you are following the Main Street Mouse on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, blah, blah, blah.
Wherever you got to find.
We're everywhere.
We're all over.
But yeah, so we'll be working our butts off to get all this information out. I know that there will be other outlets that are doing the same, but if you guys watch ours, I'd love you for it.
We would. And please keep in mind when we're on the ship and at Lookout Key, keep in mind our Wi-Fi is not as good as it is when we're on land here.
We're gonna try.
So we're gonna try our best to get everything we can out to you guys, but just be patient with us as it might not get out as fast as we want it to.
Yeah, but just make sure you're paying attention because if I do a live feed, it'll be on our Facebook wall.
Yes, so make sure you guys watch out for that and in the group as well as on the main pages.
Yes, sir.
So the last thing we have for Disney news that you mentioned, which was there was a preview for the song for Country Bears.
Oh yeah. So just really quick, so the Country Bear Jamboree is getting made over. That's why it's closed. And they are adding updates and all the inappropriate songs are getting chucked to the side.
Right.
So they gave an example of one of them, and it is the country western version of Try Anything.
Okay.
By Shakira from...
is that who's singing it? Okay.
Yeah, you know the song. They play it and everything.
I don't know.
You would know.
Okay.
Trust and believe. You would know. They play it all the time. That is in a country twang.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So now here's where you have the great divide. All right.
Okay.
Either you love it or you hate it. Now I've seen people say, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool," and then I've seen people say, "Hate it. You ruined the Country Bear Jamboree by putting IP songs in there."
Well, they ruined it the minute they closed it and said they were going to redo it all. Because
from that second on, it was ruined.
Because people like the nostalgia of the ride. And now you're ripping that away from the people. And it's like...
They don't care about nostalgia anymore.
I know they don't, but that's just one more thing we've lost that we had. And granted, it was inappropriate. There was some of those songs, some of the things
You're
they
like,
said were inappropriate for the times that they came out. But there's still a lot of fans out there who've thought...
People just... You know what? People just like old-fashioned Disney still. And I feel like we're getting so far away from that.
Oh, it's fine.
Like, the song was fine. It was fine. And I know they're modernizing it, which so we knew they said they were going to do that, but it was just weird to picture that song in the Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all comes out.
I know we have a couple of our friends who will be recording some of the voices for the new
We do.
Jamboree. So
Yes,
hopefully
we do.
maybe once that all drops, we can get them to jump on a call with us to do some recording.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, I could probably make a phone call.
You don't call anybody. You mean I'll send an email?
I'll send a text.
I was going to say, you don't use the phone. That's a
hate
lie.
the phone.
Anyway.
All calls go to voicemail. Okay, so that's all the Disney news we have for this week. So we just want to mention a couple other things. So other attractions, pop culture, and more in the city. Last week it was announced that Universal is going to host the first ever Halloween Horror Nights Premium Scream Night beginning on August 29th, which as a HHN fan... I'm kind of excited about this. Would I pay to do it? If I had the money, I probably would pay for it.
If we had the money, maybe.
If we had the money. So it's a separate ticketed event. It's going to start at the price of $350. So for that, you get...
It's a lot.
It is. But you get to go for, it's limited capacity. So it's almost like a Disney party, after hours party. So there's limited people in the park, shorter wait times.
Shorter waiter times.
Shorter waiter times. So anybody who's been to HHN knows the waits for the houses are crazy long. And a lot of people will buy the express pass, which costs them another $100 to $125 anyway. So if you're paying for $80 to get in the park and then you pay for that, you're paying $200 already. But in addition to that, you get staggered entry by groups into the houses. So everyone will fall prey to the scares lurking at every turn. So they're not pushing how when it gets really busy, they just kind of push people. They never slow it down.
I would rather be pushed through like cattle because I don't like the space in between.
I know you don't. You're always worried you're going to be the cutoff for the beginning of the next one.
Oh, no.
You also get all you care to enjoy food items.
Okay, now that makes a difference.
And as well as non-alcoholic beverages, exclusive event souvenir credentials and lanyard, access to select attractions inside of Universal Studios as well, and then free parking, which is a big thing for people who don't have the parking because I think it's $30 to park at Universal.
I don't know. Parking has gotten so stupid down here.
So for $350 for non-pass holders, for pass holders, it's going to start at $325 plus tax.
Okay, so but the fact that it's tickets, you're kind of quote unquote fast pass and food, all right, that makes it worth it.
Yeah, and the tickets for this go on sale on the 6th. So what would that be? Thursday of this week. You can go to Halloween Horror Nights website and purchase those when they go on sale. But it looks like there's going to be a handful of nights where they're going to have this special night where you can go and do things like that. So might be worth checking out if you're really into Halloween Horror Nights and you may only get one night and you want to experience it all the best you can.
Sure, why not?
So, and the other thing we wanted to mention too, Universal also dropped news last week that there's going to be a Epic Universe Preview Center that will be debuting at CityWalk. It just said this month. I don't have an exact date of when it was going to open. It just said in June. But it's going to open there to where you can go into this building and they're going to have a full preview of what Epic's going to look like.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. We're going to have to get over there and check that out because that will be at CityWalk. So you don't necessarily have to go to the parks to see it. You should be able to see it at CityWalk.
Okay, fair enough.
So we will check that out. So where are we at on time? Oh, we're just hit our hour mark. So the last thing I have is a question for Michele.
Okay.
She never knows what these questions are going to be.
Never.
I make them up actually usually as we're walking into the room.
Your questions are usually pretty easy though.
I don't want to throw too complex of a curveball at you and have you have to figure it out live on the air.
I'm not stupid.
No, I'm not stupid. It's just if I throw one out at you that you've really got to put some thought into the answer, it's like it's not.
Okay,
really
give me a mindless question.
Okay, so as we just said, we're going to be sailing on the Disney Magic here in a few days.
Yeah.
Which is one of our ships we've been on before. We've liked the Magic. It was the first ship. It's really nice. It's a lot smaller than the other.
Tangled dining
and Tangled show on this ship. So that's what Michelle's mostly. It doesn't matter what else is on the ship as long as she gets that night of that. We're good. And that's actually the first night on Thursday. We're going to Rapunzel's dinner, and then we have the Tangled show after that.
Yay!
So, but besides for that,
okay,
what do you like most about the Disney Cruise Line as opposed to you've been on Princess, you've been on Carnival, you've been on all the other ships, Royal. What do you like most? What do you like about Disney that sets them apart from the other ships?
Oh, better entertainment.
Okay, yeah.
Because so we did that Princess cruise in February, and their shows just were not up to par with Disney by far.
Okay. Not that they were bad.
No, they just were looked like more like lounge acts. It wasn't on the scale of Disney what they do. Do I like every show at sea? Nope.
No.
I think some of them are a little cringe, but most of them I do think they're wonderful, and I think the entertainment. I think that they're just to expand it a little bit further. Because we just did Princess, that's why I'm relaying it to you.
Yes.
Disney ships, you can there's games and trivia and different things going all day long.
Yes.
And then after dinner, if you don't want to go to the room, and a lot of us don't, Night Owl right here, you can find things to do later in the evening.
Multiple options.
Yes, you don't have to be in your room at 10 o'clock because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
So entertainment, I would say yes.
Entertainment. I like the food on the Disney ships personally. I think it's always been pretty good. Good varieties. Pirate Night I like. Don't know why. It's cheesy, but I like Pirate Night.
He does like Pirate Night.
I do. I like being able to walk up and get pizza any minute of the day.
Oh, here's the real answer right here.
I do,
Pizza window.
Pizza. I will say this though: the Princess Pizza window was probably the best pizza I've ever had in the ocean.
Yeah, in the ocean.
In the ocean.
It's ocean pizza.
Anytime I've traveled by boat, that's been my favorite so far.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the pizza was really good on Princess Cruise Line.
It was.
So yeah.
And the magic it was the first ship. Michele and I, the first one we ever sailed on for Disney was the Dream. And then we've been on the Fantasy just in port. We never actually went out for that one. And then the Magic we've been on once before, and we actually did Marvel Day at Sea as well as the Tangled stuff, which we loved that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why we like that ship so much because
and it's nice to have a little bit more close quarters to where you don't have to. Some of the ships, like the Wish. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you have to be at one end of the ship and you're at the other, it's going to take a little time.
Yep. plan on moving a little quicker than you think you're going to have to. Because
if you have a dinner reservation or something and you are not near said restaurant, you better
or the floor.
Yeah.
Because you could be on one deck and your restaurant could be on and then you could be waiting an hour for the elevator to get there, so you end up taking the stairs.
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like about Disney Cruise Line. There's not enough elevators to put people up and down. And if you're like me and can't do the stairs, that's a problem.
And this ship, we're dead center of the ship. So it's
dead center
of the ship. So we're probably going to end up on a lot of stairs to go down, and then we'll have to wait for elevators to go up.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
So it'll be a great time.
I'm excited, actually.
I am. And the weather is supposed to be fantastic. So it's actually probably the greatest time we could be going. We've never sailed really when the weather was really, really good.
Well, that's true. When the debut of the Wish was at the end of June, early July.
Oh, that's true. That one was.
But the ship wasn't done yet.
The ship wasn't done yet, but that was a fun day at Castaway because it was so nice outside.
And there was nobody there.
Nobody there. It was great.
I'm like, I could get used to this.
No problem finding chairs.
Nope.
As close to the water as you wanted to. It was fantastic. So I think we're going to do that again with this ship. I think it'll be the same because from what we've heard, the ship is not near full.
That's what we're hearing. But I guess we're going to find out when we get there on Thursday.
We will. We will find out.
So yeah, please watch all our stuff, please.
Please watch all our stuff. We will not have a show next Monday. As I stated, we have a media event from 7 a.m. till midnight next Monday, so there will be no time for us to record, and we're just getting off the ship the day before, so we won't have time to record a show before we do all that. But maybe Tuesday we'll put out something.
Or if we're way too tired, then we'll see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks if that doesn't work out. But thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to close out and let Michele close out the show for us.
Okay, as usual, thank you guys for everything. And again, don't forget to watch our coverage for all the media fun. We're going to start with the Bright Line Wednesday, and we're going to go all the way to Tuesday morning. So Main Street Mouse, like everywhere. And tell your friends because that's always important too. And we hope that you have a wonderful, magical week ahead, and we will see you real soon.
Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your belongings, watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us.
Now I will raise the safety bar, and a ghost will follow you home.